Everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shira David. A special day today. It's Yom Yerushalayim, and for us here in the bush, it's a special day for us too, because when we took Yerushalayim, they also got Yehuda and Shomron, right. We got we're only here because of the same victory. So Baruch Hashem. But it's a very special day, and it's nice to thank Hashem for all the chesed that He does for us. Especially today is the midah of chesed sheba malchus, right? So you see the chesed of the malchus of Hashem, right? You see the chesed of the malchus of Hashem. All right, let's learn. Sefira Lachem, from the great tzaddik Daniel Frisch, what the beautiful things he did for Klal Yisrael, his parish on the Zoya Matuk Midvash. Unbelievable, mamash unbelievable. He opened it up to people to understand the secrets of Rabbi Shimon. Unbelievable. So today is Hayom Shloisha V'Arboim Yom Shem Shisha Shavuos V'Yom Echad Loimer. So today's the 43rd day, 6 weeks, and 1 day into the Omer. Right? And today is the midah of Chesed Sheba Malchus. Right? Chesed, we know, is Avraham Avinu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, of course, created the world. Olam Chesed Yibana, right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu founded the world on the principle of Chesed, right? And HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants us to always emulate Him and be like Him, right? In the same way HaKadosh Baruch Hu does all the Chesed, and Hashem wants us to do Chesed also, right? He wants us to partake in Chesed and do Chesed, Chasadim for people, and to be kind people. So Rabbi Frisch says today, Yitein ha'adam elibay. Again, put a little heart into what I'm going to tell you now. Put a little heart into this. If you want to be zeicha, to have the merit, to have that HaKadosh Baruch Hu be your king, you'll feel that Hashem is your melech. Is that nice, right? Think about that. I want Hashem to be my king. I want to be part of His kingdom. I want Him to be my king. Isn't that nice? That's a nice thought right there. Right? Well, the Kabbalah alatzmei ol malchus shemayim, and I'll accept upon myself the service of Hashem, the yoke of Hashem, the service. Well, yoke is a hard word, but we don't know. But the bond. Maybe I don't know. You like the word?
They use bond.
What?
They use bonding.
He used bond. When he used bond, okay, bond. The bond with Hashem. Yesh loy lisnai kemaise midas hamalchus shedarkei ritzoni lidabek b'midas hachesed lashpia toiv li'olam. So you have to connect yourself to the midah of malchus, the midah of royalty, malchus. What we know, malchus is peh, right? Malchus is the peh, the mouth, right? Because we said the same way. You have a king, and the king. Without his people, he's not really a king. He's only the king because he has his people, right? The mouth is only the mouth because you speak, right? You speak words of Hashem. You mamlech it. Okay. Because the way Hakadosh Baruch Hu is, He does every time He wants to do chesed in the world. Now, of course, Hashem does din in the world also. But we know that the din that He does, the judgment and the things that He does, is only for ultimate chesed. He's not doing the din for the sake of din. See, people think that Hashem is out to get me. He's not. Hashem loves everyone. He wants to do good for everybody, right? And He wants everyone to do tshuva. He wants everyone to come back to Him. But if we're not doing that, if we're not in the program, so then He has to give us. He has to guide us. Right, He has to guide us to come back to Him, and sometimes that's very painful. But the more if we take this idea, I want to be mamlech Hashem over me. I want Hashem to be my king. I want to take on the mitzvahs and do them in a serious way. I want to take it on. I want to do this for real, not just to go through the motions. Right, a lot of people go through their whole life, and they daven and they do their mitzvahs, but it doesn't mean anything. It's just another chore, right? They put on their tefillah, they took out the garbage, right? It's another chore, right? A lot of people, it's another chore, right? It's another chore. That's it. But to be mamlech Hashem, right? It's to be mamlech. I use a silly example, but in other words, the same way. Some people, the same way, they don't like taking out the garbage. They don't like putting on their tefillin. It's a chore, right?
You shouldn't do it at the same time.
Huh?
You shouldn't do it at the same time.
Not at the same time, right?
Sometimes it's just a habit. It's just like what you do. You do it. I feel that way for me sometimes. Like because I go to Nate because that's what I've been doing. It's like a thing that made in my brain that I automatically show up, put on tefillin, not necessarily with the meaning and not necessarily as a chore.
No. But it's all things. It's not just of course. And always it's a great thing. You want to always be in the program. And even if you're doing a mitzvah, we always say shemitoich lo lishma bo lishma. Right? Even if a person is doing his mitzvah and he stops to think. Wait, there's a Hashem. He asked me to do this. I'm not doing this because my wife will be upset if I don't do this mitzvah. Oh, my friend will think, what's going on? I'm doing this because Hashem wants me to do it. It's such a different thing. Right? It's so different. When you do it, you recognize He's with me. Hashem is watching. He cares what I do. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Right? I mean, we understand these things today. Anywhere you go today, right? You walk on the streets, you're always being camera. There's a camera everywhere you go. Right? There's cameras everywhere, right? You're being what? Why do we have such a thing like that? To help us understand that Hashem is always with me. If Madach is a machine, a little thing that can track me and knows where I am, right? You carry your phone with you. They know where you are. They can track you because you have your phone, right? It's all. So if a phone can know where I am, but Hashem doesn't know where I am. Think about it. It's amazing. I mean, even the Chafetz Chaim gave examples of that when we had the telegraph and the different things. He showed that there's connections. You see that? He used the technology. He used the technology to show that look, this is the way it really is. This is how it is. So you can be masig. You can attain a little bit the idea of malchus. And then I can draw it upon myself. A little bit of the malchus of Hashem. Because what's Hashem's Torah? Hashem's Torah is the malchus. It's a royal document, right? We're coming to Shavuos, right? We're coming to the holy Yom Tov of Maimed HaSinai, Kabbalah SaTorah. So the ksuba that we had with Hashem, right? The ketubah, right? The contract is the Torah between us and Hashem. That's the Torah. That's our contract. Yeah, that's our ketubah, right? So the contract, that's between us and Hashem. Right? We went to the chuppah, the Har Sinai, right? Standing there was the wedding. Through being davik to the midah of chesed. Right? Being davik to the midah of chesed. Today it's getting so hard. My wife tries to do the work with the she has her group organization she started, the Super Safta Packers. She makes the packages for the Chaylim. People, the war is still going on. I got to give again. And she says to them, hey, the soldiers are out there. You're getting tired? What do you think about them?
Really?
No. People are getting tired of giving money. They say it's a donor's fatigue. Oh. Donor's fatigue. That's what they say. I never heard of such a thing. Donor's fatigue. You hear this?
Just come up.
Donor's fatigue. Yeah, you have to be davik to the midah of chesed. Be davik to the midah of chesed. Come on. This is what we have to do. We're out there to do that. Chesed. He says like this also. The next one I will do Gimel also. When you're standing to daven now, here's another idea. When you're standing to daven, right? Malchus is right, speaking, davening. Lifnei Abayri is baruching. You're always davening in front of Hashem because wherever you go, you're davening, you're talking to Hashem. His Baidah speaking to Hashem you're always there with Hashem. He's always with you. Huh? Daven to Hashem, they should put more chesed into the world. Daven to Hashem, there should be more chesed in the world. Right? Ask Hashem. Actually, yavayu abriyos lispoil lahakir b'chazdei abari as well. So that the way the world should recognize, people should realize the chesed of Hashem and recognize Hashem. Daven in a way that not only that Hashem should do the chesed, but let people recognize that it's the chesed of Hashem. Let people recognize that. And of course, then they'll become a little more religious, and they'll take on more mitzvahs, and they'll enjoy mitzvahs, and enjoy Yiddishkeit, and enjoy Shabbos, and so on, right? Through chesed, right? Use the chesed in order to increase more malchus, kved malchus shemayim, in order to bring more honor to Hashem's glory through the chesed, right? In other words, that's the idea. So in other words, we could do more chesed, and it's chesed shebemalchus. So use the chesed in order to fulfill the malchus, right? Through chesed, you can fulfill the malchus of Hashem. And we should always give, and again, understand when people need money and people need things, realize that they're doing you a bigger favor than you're doing them. Right? They're doing you a bigger favor because the schar you get from giving is so great. It's so great. And if we don't have they don't come to you. Right? And Ani comes to your door, guy's standing there. So a lot of people say they don't want to open the door. Right? Or, oh, it's too late, or it's I'm not. Hey, the guy came to my door. Remember, hashgacha pratis, right? Yeah. Hashem sent this guy to your door, right? It wasn't his idea. It wasn't his idea. I mean, we think it was his idea, but it's really Hashem's idea. That he came to your door. Now, what do? Did you not answer the door? Well, Hashem sent you somebody? Is Hashem's knocking on your door and you're not going to answer? No, think about it. No. I don't think people think of it that way. I don't think so. If you think, wait, this guy was sent by Hashem to my door, that means, hey, wait a second, this is something I have to cherish this. Right? A guy should go wash his hands, put on his hat and jacket, and it's a mitzvah. Right? There are people that do that, right? You're doing a mitzvah, right? You're doing a mitzvah, right? So there are people that'll, before you do a mitzvah, you wash your hands, right? We learn about washing the hands. Right? Do a mitzvah, giving tzedakah, mitzvah deraisa. People do that, yeah. Yeah, I never saw that, right?
They say after you shouldn't, that's the reason you don't make a bracha to give tzedakah.
I didn't say to make a bracha.
No, I'm saying, but you make a bracha, you wash your hands, put on your hands.
I didn't say to make a bracha. The guy, but you're doing a mitzvah. What do you?
Every time you're delaying giving the money, it could be the guy's gonna.
You don't. Okay, listen. Okay, we're not. The guy's coming to your door. We're not talking about a guy that's he's down and out and he's about to die. Like with the story with Nachum Ishkamzu, right? You're talking right. The guy with Nachum Ishkamzu, right? The Gemara tells us the story with Nachum Ishkamzu, right? Remember the story with Nachum Ishkamzu? You know the story? What the story with him that his original story. He was traveling with his donkey, and an Ani came over with him. He said he needs money. So he says, okay, on my way back, I have to go do something. I come back, I'll give you money. You ever do that? We ever do that sometimes? So I'm not right now. I'll give you the money a little later, right? So he came back. The Gemara says the story, and he saw that the guy was dead.
Right.
He died. He died of starvation. So Nachum Ishkamzu said, "Oy, with these eyes that saw this and I didn't do anything, I don't need them. And with these hands that didn't rush to take the food, and I had food in my bag here, I could have given him, and with my feet that didn't run to do this, I don't need any of these things." That's why he had no eye, he had no feet, no hands. That's Nachum Ishkamzu, right?
That's why I feel it was some Rav that there was an Ani sitting outside the shul collecting money.
Yeah.
So the Rav came to shul. He gave him a few coins. Again, the Rav goes inside. He davens. Afterwards, he comes out and he presses the same money. He gives money again. So I says, "Oh, you gave me money when you came in. Why you gave me money on the way out?" He says, "I don't want to pass by. People see that I passed you by."
I didn't give you any money. They don't know that I gave you money before. Right? They don't know that they don't know that you were sitting here early because the guy came in late. He didn't know that I was here. Amazing. Yes, see that sensitivity. That's sensitivity, right? Sensitivity. Be sensitive. You don't want people to think that the rabbi walked by, right? So think about. Look at that beautiful story, right? The rabbi made sure to give him money, right? Otherwise, people say, "Well, the rabbi walked by this guy, didn't give him any money, so obviously he doesn't need money." Right? People come to those things, right? I just saw the rabbi walk by, he didn't give him money. That means obviously he doesn't need money. Or he's not a worthy cause.
The Tzara tells the person, hey, look, the rabbi didn't give you.
The rabbi, so why should I give? Right?
I had the opposite happen.
Yeah.
I gave some money and they threw it on the ground because it wasn't enough. The rabbi.
Well, that's not a rabbi?
Well, actually, I don't know what he was. He was someone collecting money.
Okay. Okay.
Sometimes they come over. I have no cash at home, like nothing. They come because they assume that everybody is like super rich here.
Uh-huh.
That's what.
Listen, Sasha. Hashem knows.
Some
No. So wait.
Take pay box and take bid.
Yeah,
No. But Sasha, so even the guy you don't have money. Hey, would you like to use the bathroom? Do you need to use the bathroom? Can I offer you a glass of water and maybe a glass of juice? Right? It says more. You can still, if you don't have money, okay. So you can still do chesed. Chesed. We're saying chesed. I use tzedakah, but he says chesed. So chesed is, the guys walking around, driving around, right? These guys, and then sometimes they need to use the restroom. Hey, would you like to use the restroom? That's a chesed. That's a chesed, right there. That's a chesed. Oh, can I offer you something? Maybe you want a banana. Can I offer you something? Right? Be kind to the person. That's all. That's part of chesed. That's chesed.
It's just so challenging.
Of course it's because it's such a great mitzvah. It's such a great mitzvah.
I know people, I see people at the quarter with the same cousin for 25 years, comes over like I'm just.
But I didn't use, no, I didn't use that. No, I didn't use that example. I gave you the example. The guy came to your door.
People professionals.
No, I gave you the example that somebody came to your door, right?
Even
Yeah.
many of
And those things are also the fact that you're going to go there and that guy's sitting there. So you give him a shekel, you give him something. Okay, big deal. Think about it. If if these guys are sitting there, there's something deranged in their minds, right?
Absolutely. I mean, he might be making way more than I make,
Okay, but the fact that he sits there with his hand, come on.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's not a healthy.
It's not a normal thing. It's not normal.
No.
So okay, so you whenever you see, you give something, but you're doing it not because you're doing it because Hashem wants chesed in the world. That's why we're doing it. That's the point we're learning. Hashem wants chesed in the world. That's the midah of chesed shebemalchus. You want to have more malchus in the world through the midah of chesed. Okay, I think we understand this now. It's a hard one. It's not really hard, but the what?
It can be.
It can be very hard. Anyway, you never know. It's like giving money to an addict. Is it a mitzvah or no?
No, that's not a mitzvah. No. Giving money to an addict is not a mitzvah. Getting him help is a mitzvah. Getting him help.
Yeah.
Give him Rabbi Kramer's book. The 13 step, right? His Rabbi what?
12 steps.
Yeah, his book. He made that book on the 12 steps. Yeah. Rabbi Kramer, he wrote this beautiful, unbelievable. Yeah. What?
Which one is it? The remedy?
Something with recovery. Recovery, discovery, recovery, something. Yeah, he wrote that. It's beautiful.
Right.
He's close with Gedalia Fenster, and Gedalia Fenster has a clinic, and he asked him, "Can you please, based on the 12 steps?" Because Gedalia asked Rabbi Kramer to read the 12 steps. So he's reading the 12. He said, "Well, this is lesson 6 in Likutey. This is 24. Oh, this is found in Sefira. Me, this one's." So he asked, "Could you please write the book like that? Show these things. Show where they're coming from, and there's a Torah source for it." And he did that. So if someone is an addict, so you help him, help the person. A lot of people were addicts, and he got help, and they're great people, right? Okay. All right. Anyway, that's the midah of chesed to malchus. Okay, let's learn now Likutey Halachos. Baruch Hashem. Likutey Halachos. So we're learning Hilchos Netilas Yadayim. This is again Netilas Yadayim for the Suda, not the morning, right? This is the one for bread, and we're learning the idea is really to have Pas Shachris, right? In the morning, you're supposed to have your bread, right? We said within the 5th or the 6th hour. Remember we learned about that, right? And to have a bread, right? And if you can have bread that's made with chiita, with flour, wheat flour, which is really the best because that's the list of the grains. That chita is the first one, right? The chita has a lot of preference over the other one, all of the other ones, all right? So that's okay. Now we're learning here, today we're up to Halacha Dalid, and we're up to Zayin. So we're in 4, and today we're up to Zayin, which is 7. Okay. So here we go. Everyone have the place? 7? Okay. All of this. What is all of this? The clarity of the medama, right? Clarity of, we're learning the idea, all these things that we're trying to do in order to clarify our imagination, to straighten to realign our imagination, to imagine good things, positive things that will advance my avodas Hashem, imagination. Zeichen Aidei Tefillah Bechinas Din Shel Abal Koyach comes through the Tefillah of Din of the Baal Koyach.
What's his prayer of the powerful one? That's the Din.
Yeah. Prayer, a powerful prayer from the powerful one, right? So there were tzaddikim that understood how to do the Tefillah B'Din very well, like we gave the example, the Kedushas Levi knew how to take a tefillah and he knew how to give it back to Hashem, right? Hashem, you're complaining about this and this, but look at this and this. You understand? You're complaining about this, but hey, what about this? You understand? But again, you do it when you're davening to Hashem, it's always with the utmost respect, right? It's always with the utmost respect, and you always thank Hashem first before you ask Hashem, right? It's not like, gimme. You say, Hashem, thank you for everything. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I appreciate that you gave me this, and this. But now that I have this and this and this, I need this. Right? I need this now. Right? I need this. Please Hashem. Right? The whole idea of the tefillah is when a person is bekatnus, he's in his lower state. His lower state of mind, and he's not so connected, but he wants the daven to come to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? The situation. We said that the whole point of the Tefillah B'Din is on the left side, right? Din is on the left side. You have Chesed is on the right. We just learned about Chesed. That's on the right side. And Din is on the left side, right? So Tefillah B'Din is a Tefillah from the left side, Din. The Sitra Achra, right? The Satan, the evil inclination, right? He's part of the left side, Din. He's part of that side. So when you daven that tefillah of Din, right? You daven a tefillah b'Din. What you're doing is you're awakening the evil inclination, right? You're awakening him. Why? He says, wait a second, you're davening a tefillah b'Din. Hey, Din, that's me. I'm Din, he says. The evil inclination says, I'm Din, right? I'm Din. Hey, that tefillah is mine. So he takes that tefillah and he swallows it. He swallows that tefillah. Again, it's not physical. It's not we're using terms to help understand the concepts, right? What happens is the Sitra Achra, he takes in all different tefillahs and he accepts and uses and benefits by all the tefillahs that we daven that we pay no attention to, right? Sometimes we're just davening. Ashrei, did I say Ashrei or not? Oh yeah, I said Ashrei. Yeah, because my finger's over here now. You ever happened to you, right? You're davening, right? And you just, did I say? Oh yeah, because I'm over here. So that means I must have said that. You ever happened to you?
Yep.
Happens famous. So I'm walking in the middle of shuk, and then somebody knocks on my chest. Right?
He knocks on your chest.
Yeah, like in the middle of Shmona, and then you realize you're in the middle of Shmona.
You live in the shuk.
Yeah, it was.
Amazing, right? But no, that happens. So now, every time we do that, wait a second. So every time we do that, all of those words, all of those tefillahs get the sitra achra, the evil inclination. The other side takes them, because he takes them. Now, how do we get them back? That's the question. How do we get them back? So the tefillah bedin is that tefillah that we give it to him, but it's like it causes an explosion. He takes it in, right? It was like when we had the beepers with the Hezbollah guys, right? Those beepers, right? They had their beeper, and it was a good beeper, right? They took the beeper, right? They didn't know that thing's going to explode and blow them up, right? They didn't know that, right? That's the way this tefillah bedin is, right? He takes, it's a nice thing, it's nice. He takes it, it's din. He takes it. He doesn't know that thing's going to blow up and cause him to give back everything else. Right? He's going to cause him to give back everything else that he took. And that's going to cause ruach nevuah, and then it causes that there could be gerim, converts come from that, and that can cause, there are many great people that are converts, many great people that are come from these concepts. Where do they come from? From this concept of a tefillah bedin causes the sitra achra to give back all of the stuff that he stole from us. Right, and it brings a lot of benefit into the world. Now, this is based on Tikkun Teichacha, right? This is lesson 8 in the second book of Likutey Moran. Lesson the Rebbe gave on Rosh Hashanah. Shayidei that tefillah shall abal koyach zeichen la'asais geirim u'laharbes kevoid yisbarach. You merit to bring more honor, glory to Hashem in the world. So this is a great thing, to daven a tefillah bedin. Once in a while, we have to do that, right? Because then you can actually bring back all of your tefillahs, everything that you lost. It happens sometimes. The Balatanya explains this. Many of Tzaddikim explain this concept. The way it works is, sometimes we have tefillah, a tefillah without kavana. It's a tefillah without the wings. It doesn't have the wings. It doesn't have the gatfin. It doesn't have the wings on it. So the tefillah is just sitting there. It's just sitting. It doesn't go anywhere. But when you have a good tefillah, right? When you have a good tefillah, once in a while it happens, right? You're davening, you feel so connected, right? That's that tefillah bedin. You feel that connection, right? So what happens is that tefillah has the wings. It has a lot of power to it. So it takes with it all the other tefillahs. It goes up. Takes it all up, right? That's another idea. I'm giving you different concepts to understand the concept. In other words, you had a lot of different tefillahs that had they had no energy to them. There was no energy. They were just standing there. They were just there, right? When you daven, you put the chilu rechimu. You put a little fear and love into your tefillah, right? You put fear of Hashem. Recognize Shavisi Hashem Lenegdi Summit. Right, and then you have the rechimu, and you feel the love that Hashem has, that He's listening to me, right? That Hashem is here listening to me. He wants to hear my words. So that's the rechimu, right? When you have that, so then that causes the tefillah to be energized, and the tefillah you give it a motor, you give it its things, and you have fuel, it has everything, and it can go up. The same way you have a rocket ship, right? You have a rocket. You ever see that when the space shuttle goes up, right? They count down, and then everything around it just pulls up with it, right? You ever see that? Right? There's any paper, anything that's around it, anything that, you see everything goes up with it. The inertia. That's how the tefillah works, right? Again, a mashal for the nimshal, right? The good tefillah does the same thing, right? And it causes that there can be gerim, converts come to the world. And again, when you have converts in the world, who was the prime convert that we had in the Torah? Yisro. Yisro was the prime convert that we had in the Torah, right? Yisro, right? Yisro. Rus, we can have Rus, no, but the first in the Torah, right? Rus also, of course, we'll talk about Rus. But in other words, the whole not only was he ger, the parsha of Kabbalah Torah was attributed to Yisro. Look how great it is. Right? The whole thing is the Kabbalah Torah, Parshas Yisro. Who was Yisro? He was one of Paro's advisors. He was a god. He was the high priest of all the different avodah zaras, everything.
His father-in-law.
He knew, Moshe's father-in-law. Yeah, he knew all the avodah zaras. He fattened up cows and everything to serve to all the different idols and different gods. He knew every god. He knew every one of those. He knew all of them. You know that they said that the Parai had a book of the Medrash says he had a book of the different gods, like like a telephone book of all the different gods, right? And then when the Moshe Rabbeinu came to Parai, he said Hashem said. So he's looking up in his book. He doesn't see Hashem in his book. Hashem wasn't in his book. It was all avodah zarah. He didn't have Hashem in his book. But Yisro knew every one of those gods in that book. He knew all of them. And he served every one of them. Did you believe that? And he said, I understand that Hashem is so great. Right? I saw he saw Kriyas Yamsef and Melchames Amalek. And he came, right? It was great, right? He saw two great things. He said, how did that happen? Wow, first of all, he remembered he was one of Paro's advisors. He understood that no one left Mitzrayim. The Russians thought they had their iron curtain, right? But Paro had a better iron curtain. No one left there. Nobody left Egypt. And all you guys got out? All you guys got out? He saw something great, right? Can you imagine that? Nobody left Egypt. Nobody. No one was able to leave. He had it locked. And we all left. It was great. Then we came to the Yamsuf, and we were locked there too, right? The Yamsuf, the Egyptians, Hashem split the sea, we went through the sea. So Yisro saw that. It's great, right? Isn't that great? And then Amalek came to attack us, right? Amalek came to attack us. Yisro knew Amalek very good. He knew them. He knew them very, very well. And he said, wow, you went to war with Amalek also, and they didn't wipe you out, and you were successful? Because again, Moshe Rabbeinu's hands, where we learned about the hands, where we're washing your hands, right? Lift your hands. Su yadechem kaidesh avochu es Hashem. Lift up your hands, right? Shayidei zen is bara amedame. All these things are there. You get the ruach nevuah. It's all we said yesterday. The whole is to straighten out our medame, our imagination, right? We have imagination is what motivates a person. When you imagine something, right? You imagine this is good for me. This is good for me. You do the things that you imagine that are good, whether they're good or bad. That's based on the imagination. The imagination is nothing real. The imagination is not real. What is imagination? Right? They say it's a figment of imagination. Right? What is imagination? It's just a dimion. Right? It's an illusion. It's all it is. So the nevuah is there to fix that whole illusion, fix the whole idea of the imagination. Nimsa shekoyach hatzadikim shemevar and hamedame nimshach me'atfila, the koyach of the tzaddikim that can help us, right? Like Rav Nosson is doing here, right? To help us understand this idea of the medame, of this idea of imagination, right? No, you won't find any other swarm really talking about this like this. Really to help us understand how important the imagination is. Everyone will discount the imagination. Hey, what's the imagination? It's nothing. It's nothing. No, Rav Nosson says it's very important. Use it for the positive. Imagine I can be successful. Imagine I can come to Nate's. Imagine that I can daven. Imagine that I could be happy serving Hashem. Because that's really gives me freedom. Right? Imagine it. It's all about imagining. People are scared. People don't want to start, they don't want to take on a commitment because they're scared. They're imagining it won't be good for them. Why don't people start? It's all the imagination, right? They imagine, oh, this is going to be too complicated. I can't do this. No, this is going to be too complicated. I can't do it, right? People say that, right? Why don't people advance? Because they imagine it's going to be too difficult. Oh, but if I can have the tzaddikim teach me and show me that the service of Hashem is imagination, it could be successful, right? Like we learned the other day in the park, we were learning this idea from Rav Nosson. You know, when you tell a guy, Here have a nice here's a nice big sandwich, and here's a nice soda, coffee, whatever you like, a milkshake, whatever you like with your sandwich, and you give him a big bowl of ice cream, right? And you give him a big piece of cheesecake, and he's sitting there eating it. Is that considered any work for the guy at all? No, he's enjoying the whole thing. It's nothing. No, this is great. Right? He's chewing on his sandwich. He's drinking his thing, right? That's nothing. It's good. He loves that. He loves that, right? Oh, but tell the guy, here's your Tehillim. Say a kapitel to him. Whoa, I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. That's the long one you gave me. How come you didn't give me one of those little short ones? Like Hallelujah Hashem Kol Goyim Shabuchu Kol Hashem. That's a chapter 2. You could have given me the short one. No, but when it came to his sandwich, he didn't say give me the small one. I want the big sandwich. And with the bowl of ice cream, give me the big bowl of ice cream. It's imagination, right? The guy's imagining this is good for me. This is not good for me. It's all imagination. Don't you understand? That's imagination. It's not considered avoda, right? When they're eating and if the guy's going to go to the gym, right? He'll go to the gym for an hour and a half. I enjoyed that. That was great. Right? People do that, right? They'll go to the gym for an hour and a half. They'll come back. They're schwitzed up. And it's great. But come tell them to go daven a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if I could do that. It's all about imagination. It's all about imagination. Okay. The right? Read the Nevi'im, what the Nevi'im say, right? Read the prophets, right? The prophets, right? And then imagine, wow, look at that. They said that there's going to be a time that in Jerusalem, there'll be old people walking around with their cane, and there's going to be children playing in the streets. Wow, it's happening. Wow, there'll be wine coming from Yehuda. Right here, we'll have wine. There'll be wine coming from the desert area, right? Wine. We have wine from here, right? This is in the. It's imagination. You see, it's real. If that's real, then everything else is real. Yeah, Mashiach is going to come. It's part of the program. Imagine these things. Shenismach Parshas Rosh Bnei Yisrael in Bamidbar, right? Chavov leParshas Pinchas ben Elazar, right? Count the people, right? Hakadosh Baruch Hu, we're doing that now, right? The Parshas, the whole Sefer Bamidbar. Every time Hakadosh Baruch Hu is counting the Jewish people, right? He's counting the Jewish people, right? He's counting us. So we put together this idea of Suas Rosh Bnei Yisrael, lift up the heads of Bnei Yisrael to the Parsha of Pinchas ben Elazar. Right? Remember the Parsha of Pinchas ben Elazar, right? You had the guy Zimri and Cosby, right? Zimri ben Salu and Cosby, right? And they were cohabitating in public, right? I think that's the right word to say, right? And then Pinchas came with his spear. And he did what he had to do. Ki Pinchas Heishiv Chamas Hashem Yisbarach. Pinchas put down the anger of Hashem. Hashem was very, very angry about the situation going on. Remember what happened? Right? We were just talking about Amalek, right? And then we had the rascal, right? We had the rascal, right? You remember who the rascal was? Who was the one that came to curse us? Remember? Bilam, yeah. Bilam. Remember Bilam? Remember our friend Bilam, right? Vehimtik, and what happened? But Pinchas came, Vehimtik adin, meyesol ayedei tefillah bechinas din sheyispalo. Pinchas davened tefillah bedin. Look what he got back. Look what happened. Right? He davened to Hashem, bechinas, vayamed Pinchas vayipalel, v'tei otzar, right, but they otzar hamagefa, and the magefa stopped. Right, there was a plague going on. Right, we lost 24,000 people during that plague. Can you imagine that? 24,000 connected to the 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva. Right, same idea. Right.
Do you know what was his tefillah? Do we know what was his tefillah?
We don't know what his tefillah was. No, I don't know what his tefillah was.
Kind of a dinner.
No, but it says Vayipalel Pinchas. Vayipalel. Palel is a lashon of tefillah, right? There was a lashon of tefillah. Okay. Al Kain take it b'achazeh. Tizka kosav goydol koyach shel Pinchas sheheishav es chamasei. Then right after the Torah it tells us that Pinchas was able to calm Hashem's anger. Again, it's not physical. We speak about Hashem. Again, there was a situation going on, right? There was a public embarrassment going on. That was a true Chilul Hashem, right? We keep learning the idea to make is a Kiddush Hashem, right? A Kiddush Hashem, a sanctifying Hashem's name. That was a desecration of Hashem's name.
Big time.
Right?
Big time, I told you.
Big time, right? Shekol zeh haya al yedei hatfilah b'chinas din shel Pinchas, right? That was the idea of Pinchas davening. Shayidei zeh nasin kol b'chinas. All what? Drink something. Yeah, please take a drink. Take a drink. That he caused the Sitra Achar to be Mekia. He caused the Sitra Achar to give back everything he took. Could you imagine what the Sitra Achar, he was enjoying that so much, right? That big thing going on over there with Pinchas and Zimri, because with the what do you call it, the princesses of Moab, right? The princesses. He sent the princesses of Moab to be Mizana with the Jewish people, right? Oh, he was loving that. The evil inclination loved that. He was eating that up, right? He loved that. He loved all of that stuff going on there, right? What happened? Pinchas daven. He made him give it all. He took everything back. Shemisha mikablim natzadikim ruach nevuah shayidei zeh nevara hamedame v'zoichen le'emuna of chiddush olam shel asid loving, right? So what happened? Could you imagine the people, all the Jewish people? Let's think about this for a second, right? Look at this thing going on with the Zimri, right? Look at this thing going on, right? The next thing they know, they get this guy Pinchas. He takes his spear, he kills them. The Magaifa stop. People stop dying. Whoa! You saw something vivid, right? That was something. Whoa! They saw this. Now they saw this, right? They straightened out the Medam again. Whoa! Hashem is real. This is real. This is real. Look at this. There was a Magaifa going on. He did something. He was Heishev es Chamas Hashem. He calmed, he quelled the anger of Hashem. And look, the Magaifa stopped. So it again startles the imagination. Okay, and then we said that it helps a person to have Chiddush, to understand in Chiddush Olam that Hashem created the world Yesh Me'ayin. And we said that when you mentioned the names of the tzaddikim, right? When you mention the names of the tzaddikim, what you're doing is you're connecting back to the idea of creation of the world. You can be mamtik dinim. You can change teva. Mentioning the shemas of the tzaddikim can cause teva, nature, to be changed. You can change nature by mentioning the names of the tzaddikim. Why? Because the tzaddikim all had a ruach nevuah. The tzaddikim, every tzaddik has his ruach nevuah. He has his ruach hakodesh. When the tzaddik left the world, so it was so to say dormant. But when you mention his name, you energize it again. Mention the tzaddik's name, you wake it up. The same way if you're sitting with two people, we said, right? I don't know, I want to talk to Sasha, right? But if I don't say your name, you don't know I want to talk to you, right? You don't know. But if I mention your name, so then everything can happen now. Everything, that's how it is with the tzaddikim. Mention the names of the tzaddikim, right? And therefore it's so important to always mention, and it's a big school to mention the shemos of the tzaddikim. The names of the tzaddikim is a very, very important. Right, so we're mentioning the names, right, according to their families. Right? We mentioned the names of the heads of the tribes and their families. Shemisham Maskir Shemois Kol HaTzaddikim Shehem Roshei Avos B'nei Yisrael. These were the heads of the Jewish people. Right? These were the Nesiim. These were the head people. Right? And their families. Asher Hashem Yisbarach Shutif Shemai B'Shmaisam. And we said HaKadosh Baruch Hu partners up with their names. Right? Every time a Jewish name has Hashem's partnered in that name. Because again, we said every word, all the words of the Torah are all Hashem's names. Any name that we have is anything in this world is part with Hashem. The name, anything you have is part with Hashem because it has godliness in it. So when you mention a name, you're bringing Hashem into the equation. You're bringing Hashem into the equation. K'moshe Kosev, here. Hachanoichi hapali k'moshe perish Rashi shemi meyed alehem. It has the yud in there, right? It takes the, let's say, pal, and then it ends the yud, right? And then it added the yud for hachanoichi. Chanoich. Why is it Chanoichi? No, he's showing you from the Torah. Chanoich, the name. But it says in the Torah, his name is Chanoichi. Why does it have a yud in the end? Oh, the yud is showing, Rashi says, it's showing the partnership, Hashem, with the person. It's amazing, right? Meir Aleih. Nimsa Shekol HaShemais Shalom Mishpachos HaNizkorim Sham beParshas Pinchas Kulam Ein Bechina Shema Tzaddikim Sheshema Yisbarach Meshutev Bahem. That Hashem is partnering up. You see it in the Torah. He's giving you a Torah example how the name is partnered with Hashem, using Rashi, using Rashi as the example to show us how this system works. What?
By putting in the yud.
The yud, yeah, by adding the yud. Yeah. Okay, Matoi Vayofa Smichas Parsha Zu Linyan Pinchas Ben Elazar. And now you see how wonderful it is how the Torah connected the two parshas, the parsha of Pinchas and the parsha of the names of the heads of the families, right? And adding the yud to each name. Shehu Abal Koyach Shemispalel. Shehispalel Tefillah Bechinas Din Shemenu Nimshach HaKoyach HaTzaddikim Asher Mach Mazeh Mesugol Haskara Shemoisa. And through them, it has the remembrance of their names. Vata Ma Yofa Af Noyim Shenismach Tekev Lezeh Parshas Yerushas Eretz Yisrael. Hey, wait a second. And then right after that, we talk about the inheritance of the land of Israel. It's all connected. In other words, when you have a Tefillah B'din, right, the Tefillah B'din is the same idea. It causes the Sitracha to give back everything that he took from us. Sitracha took Eretz Yisrael also, right? Right? We have all these Sitracha guys all around us, right? We got to get rid of them. How do you get rid of them? Shemas Tzaddikim, right? Believe in the Koyach and the Tzaddikim, the Medama, that I can get rid of them, that I can be successful without them. Right? That I can be successful without the Arabs. We don't need them. We can do it ourselves. We don't need them. We can do things ourselves. We don't need them. Right? Unfortunately, our government decided after the 6-Day War, when the Arabs were fleeing, come back. We need you. Come back. They were fleeing. The Jordanians fled. They fled like flies. They fled. They ran the hell out. They couldn't stand it. They left. No. It's okay. Come back. They couldn't imagine how they could be successful without them. They couldn't imagine that. It's all about the Medama. Right? Yeah. Right, they gave the key to the Mufti gave him the key.
Give the key back to
I can't imagine. What am I going to do with this? You have it. I don't need it. Imagination. Right? The imagination, it's all about imagination. Imagination. K'may shekosov le'ela techalek ha'oretz benachla b'mispar shemois l'shemois matos avoisam yinachalu. Right? Look at that. In Bamidbar, it tells you this is how you'll divide the land based on the numbers of the names of the families, right? The matos avoisam yinachal. That's how the nachlu will be. That's how your part will be. Kikola b'chinas hanal b'chinas Eretz Yisrael ki chidush ha'olam shel asid zoichen ha'idei hanal hu b'chinas Eretz Yisrael. Right, so we said like this. Really, when Mashiach is going to come, we learned yesterday in Vav, the idea that when Mashiach is going to come, that the world will experience the same way we experience in Eretz Yisrael on a daily basis. We experience the Yad Hashem. Right, we experience the Yad Hashem here every single day. Every single day. Every time the Houthis or the Hezbollah or the Hamas, they want to send their rockets, and Baruch Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu protects us every single time. That's not a small thing. That's not a small thing, right? Every time, there's hundreds of them, right?
Every time an Arab runs a red light and doesn't hit you.
Yeah, okay, that's also. No, but I'm saying you see it so blatant, right? All these missiles. What are the odds? What are the odds that they send thousands of them, and none of them hit? You're better off buying you can buy a lottery ticket and win it every time is a better chance.
You were better off with the kites and the fire. They did better than with their rockets.
Okay.
They did.
Yeah.
Don't remind them.
But wait a second. Even when that happened, what did Hashem do? He made it rain that night.
Yeah.
Right? What did Hashem do? Oh, good. He mentioned that, right? So they made their fires, right? They made their fires, right? So what did Hashem do? That night it rained. It wasn't supposed to rain then. Okay, there you go, Hashem again. That's Hashem protecting us every time. Every time. Yes, he said the rain was so big that he said it ain't getting. They washed away the things in Ein Gedi. Unbelievable. Okay, to those, you're going to be the ones that you're going to divide the land in the nachla, their inheritance, but mispar shemas with their based on their names. The mispar shemas daika lishmois matois avoisam daika hayne bechina shemas at tzaddikim. The names of the tzaddikim, it's such an important thing, right? Every day you can take, if you have the sefer shemas at tzaddikim, just read a page, read the names of the tzaddikim. It's such a beautiful thing. In order to awaken in the world their tzidkis and their mais and tovim that they did, right? By mentioning the name of the tzaddik, you awaken the whole thing. You say Rabbi Akiva, right? You say Rabbi Akiva, right? Could you imagine Rabbi Akiva, what he did for Klal Yisrael? We would have no Torah Shabbat Peh without Rabbi Akiva today. Nothing. We'd have nothing. Everything we have is based on, who was Rabbi Akiva? He was from Gerim. He was a convert. From Sisroi. Right? That's where he came from. He was a convert.
His parents, right?
Yeah. He was a convert. Could you imagine that? The whole Torah we have today, you want to talk about converts? Rabbi Akiva. Something wrong? Oh, go. Oh, okay. Through the tzaddikim, we can fix our imagination. We can imagine, wow, if Rabbi Akiva, let's think for a second, guys. People think, I'm too old, I can't learn, I don't know. So let's take Rabbi Akiva, prime example. The man was 40 years old. He didn't know the Aleph base. Can you believe that? Right? There's not too many guys today at 40 don't know the Aleph base. Not too many, right? Even guys that are not religious, whatever, somehow people know the Aleph base, right? He didn't know the Aleph base. He knew nothing. And he didn't care. He sat in the school, he learned with the Malamed, he learned the Aleph Beis, and he learned how to read, and then he learned Chumash, right? He learned Chumash, and he started to learn a little bit of Nach, and then he started to learn a little Torah Shabbal Peh, and he became who he became. So any one of us can do that. Look what Rabbi Akiva is teaching us. I can't say, well, I'm too old, I can't do this. That's nonsense. If Rabbi Akiva can become the greatest rabbi, right? They attribute Rabbi Akiva is on the level of Moshe Rabbeinu. Could you believe that? Rabbi Akiva was on the level of Moshe Rabbeinu. And he was a ger. Mentioning the names of the tzaddikim is such a great thing. Such a great. Then you can come to emunah. Because again, when you awaken the tzaddik, again, we said the tzaddik is dormant in the world. We know that the nefesh of the tzaddik, the lowest level, always stays in the world. It's always here, right? But the tzaddik is also, when you don't mention his name, it's dormant, right? Like he gave the example, you can have a room, it's very dark. The room is very dark, but if you turn on the switch, and the light, wow, it's lit in here. It's light. Wow, what did I do? I just turned on the switch. What did I do? I just pushed the button. When I mention the name of the tzaddik, watch, everything energizes. Everything comes about again. You imagine, you understand that I put on the switch, it's dark, I can't, or it's too hot, or it's too cold. I push the button. Now it's comfortable. Now I was too hot, I was too cold. You fixed it. What did they do? You just push the button. Say the name of the tzaddik and watch what can happen. Watch what can happen. Say the Chiddush Olam Shalasa Chizeh Bechinas Eretz Yisrael. That's the idea of Eretz Yisrael. I'm telling you, Cheved, this is such a beautiful thing. This idea to understand. This shemus of the tzaddikim, to understand how important the names of the tzaddikim are. And it's not just a simple thing that Kadosh Baruch Hu made in the Torah Kedosha, in the Holy Torah, that we mentioned the idea with Pinchas, and then we talk about the shemus of the Nesiyeh Suas Reish B'nei Yisrael right away. And then we talked about the Nachla of Eretz Yisrael, because it's all connected. It's all one thing. That Tefillah B'din. You have that Tefillah B'din. You cause the Sitra Achad to make Kia, to throw up all the things he stole. You get Gerim. You get Ruach Nevuah. You get the idea of Chiddush Ha'olam Shelasid Lavai. Right? All these beautiful things happen via Tefillah B'din, right? Davening a Tefillah B'din is such a beautiful thing, but something also so beautiful is just to say Shemas HaTzaddikim, right? The names of the Tzaddikim is something so special.
Something. There's an app that tells you who the yahrzeit of the Tzaddikim every day.
No, but we're talking about here the book, Mordechai. I understand. No. Rabbi Nachman has a book.
No, I have it.
And it's the names of the tzaddikim. You don't need that in English because it's just names.
Right.
There's no translation. It's just names. That's all they are, names. No translation. You don't need translation for that book.
No, I wasn't even thinking about the translation. I was just thinking I have the name.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking that.
Yeah, no. These are good. This is wonderful. Anytime you mention the name of a tzaddik, you turn things on. You turn on the idea of Chiddush Ha'olam, bringing more chesed into the world. You turn everything on because you're awakening all the kindness and the goodness of that tzaddik. Okay? So that's a beautiful idea. And Me'etz Hashem, tomorrow we're going to talk about washing our hands. Why we wash our hands specifically for bread, right? Why is bread? Why does bread have the ability to pater me from making other brachas at a suda, right? Right? When you wash, right, you can eat vegetables. You can eat whatever you want. You can have pasta if you'd like, and you want to have some fish. You don't make any other blessings.
Just bread.
How that works? How does that work? We're going to learn beautiful ideas on that in Me'etz Hashem. Okay, so that'll be tomorrow. We'll do Ches. Mirz Hashem. Okay, now let's learn Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, please. Please Hashem, Kol HaShoyna Halachos B'chol Yom Muftach Lo Yishu Ben Olam Haba, and we're trying to become people that have a part in Olam Haba, right? So we learn halacha, right? Right, we learn halacha.
Number 12.
Right here, number 12 today, right? So we learned this. We learned this beautiful idea. We're learning the idea. The laws we're in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch Yud Tes. We're in 19. Siman 19, and today we're up to letter Yud Bey. So we're learning the laws of if someone made a mistake with Mashav Ruach, if they made a mistake with Talum Matar, or they made a mistake with Yalav Yavli, right? So we could we're gonna continue now with letter 12. These are very, very important laws because every day, all the time you can come up with these questions, right? So we said that if a person, let's say a person forgot if he said Mashav Ruach, right? And then it was after 30 days that he said it, that he said at least 90 times. So then you can assume you said it the right way, right? You can assume, right? And then we said if we forget to say Mashav Ruach Hamayrid HaGeshem, right? Let's say it's the time that we say Mashav Ruach Hamayrid HaGeshem, right? And you didn't say it, so then you have to go back to the beginning of Shmon Esrei, right? Just reviewing a little bit. Why is that? Because the first three brachas of Shmon Esrei, are one unit. So if you made a mistake in the unit, the three brachas, right? Baruch Atah Hashem, and these Magin Avram, Mechaya Mason, that's one. Those are three brachas. It's one unit. So if you made a mistake in there, you have to go back to the beginning of Shmon Esrei. You start again because you have to have those three brachas correct. Okay, then we said let's say he made a mistake and the guy said the same Talum Matar, right, and he didn't say, or he said the same bracha, is he made a mistake. So he said we can correct that. That's not a problem. You can correct that. Why? Because that whole section is not part of the first three brachas. That's the next section, and there. If you made a mistake and you didn't say the same Talmud Levracha, so we said when you come to Shema Kileinu, you say Reikam Al Tishveinu Chaneinu Vaneinu Ushma Tefillah Seder, right there, same Talmud Levracha. You can add it in right there, no problem. You can add it in over there, all right, and because it's part of that system, okay. Then we said what happens if you come to Yalav Yavo, right? You come to Yalav Yavo, right? And you didn't say Yalav Yavo, and it's Ma'ariv time. Right, it's Ma'ariv, right? Mirz Hashem tomorrow night will be Rosh Chodesh, right? Tomorrow night's going to be Rosh Chodesh. Tomorrow night's Rosh Chodesh, right? Right?
Really?
Huh? Yeah. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night, it's going to be Rosh Chodesh. Abo Leinu L'Toiva, Mirz Hashem. Okay, good. So now you're davening Ma'ariv, and you forgot to say Yalav Yavai. What do you do? Nothing. You do nothing. You're fine. Why? Because we said that when the High Court was working when they would sanctify the moon, when they would sanctify the new moon, they only did that during the daytime. They did that during the day. They didn't do it at night, right? So because they didn't do it at night. If I didn't mention Rosh Chodesh at night, I don't have to say Yalav Yavo again. I don't have to repeat the Shmon Esrei. No problem at all. But what happens if it came to Shachris? Let's say I was in Shachris or Mincha and I forgot to say Yalav Yavo. Oh, so then let's see. So then if you forgot to say Yalav Yavo in Shachris and Mincha, and you were still in Shmon Esrei before you finished Havarach Sam Yisrael Basholem, and you said Yehi l'rotzed imrei fi ve'egen libi lefanecha Hashem tzur v'goy li, right? You finished. You can add it in there anywhere before Yehi l'rotzed imrei fi. You can add in Yalav Yavo. But if you forgot to say it, even there, then you're gonna have to say the whole Shmon Esrei again. You understand? Right? You have to say the whole Shmon Esrei again because you missed the whole section. Right, the same way we said in the beginning of Shmon Esrei, if you got to say Mashruch Ma'arid Hageshem Ma'arid Atol, right? If you didn't say that, right? Well, it's more Mashav Baruch Ma'arid Hageshem, right? If you didn't say that, you have to go back, start again. So if you didn't say the Yalav Yavo and you realize you finished the whole Shmon Esrei, you have to go back and say the whole Shmon Esrei again, right? right? Otherwise, you can go back and just go back to Ritzei and start it again, and then you can say the Yalav Yavo. Okay, so now today we're up to. So I just want to just review a little bit the laws, so we should know them, because these are very important halachos. It happens all the time, so you know what to do. Yud Beis b'chol makaim shu tzarich lachzor lispalo. Any plate, any time, like we just mentioned, that you comes to a place that you have to go back and say the tefillah again, right? You realize, hey, wait, I didn't say Masharuch Ma'arid Geshem. Oh, now I got to go back. So what do you do? Or I realize I didn't say Yalav Yavo, all right? And I got to go back and start Shmona Esrei again. So what do you do? Right? V'chol mokem shu tzarich la'achzor l'spalo. Any time, like all these situations, that I find myself in that quandary that I have to start the Shmona Esrei again, right? Tzarich lahamtin kidei lehiluch arba amos. You have to wait where you are. Remember we said when you finish the Shmona Esrei, right? When you finish, where you take you 3 steps back. Right. You're not supposed to just go walk around or go sit down. You're supposed to stand there, wait there, at attention, right? Till the Shliach Tzibah says the Kedusha, right? You're supposed to, then you walk up again. So now if you're going to say the Shmona Esrei again, you have to say it again. You don't just go back and say the Shmona. Where you are, you stay there for the same time it would take you to walk, let's say 8 feet, Dalet Amos, 8 feet, right? That time. And then you continue, then you go say the Shemona Esrei again. Everything we do, we have to wait. We don't just jump and do things. Think about, contemplate this. Wow, Hashem, I'm sorry that I forgot to say this, Hashem. Please, Hashem, I'm sorry. I really should have paid more attention to what I was doing. I should have paid more attention to the fact that I'm realizing I'm here with you, Hashem, and you are listening to me. I didn't pay attention. I'm sorry, Hashem. Right? Because again, you're making all these brachas again. Right? You're saying all these brachas again. Right? Again, if the person really forgot, he was trying to remember. So of course, Hashem appreciates that, the fact, of course. But again, you don't just go back, you stop and wait. The time would take you Dalet Amos, and then you go back and then you start it again. Okay, so these are the basic laws that we have of Yalav Yavo, the same Talmud, right? And to know, and if you made a mistake, in each one, what you do and so on. But if you made the mistake, where you are, that you stop there and wait there for a few minutes, wait there at least a minute, maybe wait a minute. The time would take you to walk 8 steps, and then take your steps back, and then start the Shmona Esrei again. Okay, we understand that?
Yeah. The note here says 2 to 3 seconds.
Well, that one's a young 22-year-old, and the other one's a 90-year-old.
David, you can wait 1 minute, okay?
Wait, 5 seconds also. 10 seconds.
Okay, whatever. The point is, you don't just go do it. Wait, that's the point.
Yeah.
And if you can spend another couple of seconds contemplating, that's a good thing also, right? Wow, Hashem, I'm sorry, I have to go do this now. I'm sorry about that, Hashem. Right? We should all hear wonderful B'sairis Tavis, and today's a shtikol Yom Tov because it's Yom Yerushalayim. So we wish everyone a wonderful day, and we should hear good tidings. Okay, Kol Tov, everybody.